Hey guys, welcome back to another edition of Jay's Fit Down the Football Podcast. Of course, I'm your host, Jay Gay, as always, here to provide you with the latest news, updates, everything you need to know about NFL, college football, high school football, right here on our podcast, Jay's Fit Down. We're on YouTube, Spotify, wherever you get your favorite podcasts, you can find us there. Hit that subscribe button on YouTube, comment, like, share, and continue to check us out here with all of our good content. Today we're going to be talking about the Bengals, Dolphins tonight on Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime. Big game there. Another weird story to talk about there that goes with the Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. So lots to unpack there, and then we'll get into the quarterback trouble going on in the league with a couple of teams, particularly the Panthers, the Steelers, and the Saints. So we're going to talk about that, and then again, are the Eagles for real this year? They're 3-0. Are they actually for real? Should we be taking the Eagles seriously? Should we be putting stock into the Philadelphia Eagles? So we're going to get to all of that here on Jay's Fit Down, starting right now. So Cincinnati Bengals and the Miami Dolphins. Two teams are on different sides of the spectrum here. The Dolphins are undefeated 3-0, have beaten three really good football teams in the Patriots, the Bills, the Patriots and the Bills and the Baltimore Ravens. They've beaten three good football teams right there. Came back against the Baltimore Ravens. They were down, and Tua just went off for 6 touchdowns and 469 yards passing. Just unreal stats. It's like college football stats. It's like stats he would be putting up at Alabama. And he even put close to that number up at Alabama, but that's the type of yardage that he was putting up. Him, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Mike McDaniel is starting to emerge this offense out of the woodwork, and now they are really one of the best offenses in the league as of right now in the NFL. So it's very intriguing to see the different ways that he incorporates his receivers, his tight ends, his running backs, bringing that San Francisco type mindset to the Miami Dolphins. A team with very players with interesting skill sets, so he's able to use that there for their advantage offensively. And defensively, the Dolphins have played well this year for the most part, minus allowing 40 points to the Baltimore Ravens. But they've been playing really good this year, and Miami is continuing to emerge as one of those teams. So my thing is, can they keep it up? I mean, they play the Bengals tonight. Bengals are trying to get back on track. They're 1-2. They're really looking to, after losses to the Cowboys and to the Steelers, they're really looking to get back on track here. The offensive line has not played well for Cincinnati this year. That was a point of emphasis coming into the season, was to protect Joe Burrow better, because last year he got obliterated almost every game by the defense each and every game. But luckily, somehow they made it to the Super Bowl. But it's a matter of they've got to protect him better. When Joe Burrow has a clean pocket for at least a few seconds, maybe 2 seconds, at least 1 or 2 seconds, maybe 2.5 seconds, that he is at his best, because he's able to get the ball in the hands of his playmakers, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Once he gets the ball in the hands of Joe Mixon, gets the ball in the hands of those playmakers, that offense is quite unstoppable. As we saw last year, Jamar Chase, as a rookie, exploded, had over 1,000 yards from scrimmage, double-digit touchdowns, just amazing. T. Higgins as well, Tyler Boyd out the slot. The Bengals have a great team, just like the Dolphins. Offensively, they have a great crew of guys offensively, but it's just a matter of protection. Once you give them, it's amazing how a quarterback will look much different when you provide them protection. It is completely amazing. The same reason why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have been struggling over the past couple weeks. They haven't had, Tom Brady's offensive line is hurt. His main guys are hurt. Donovan Smith at left tackle is out. His left guard, right guard are out. So it's when you have your offensive line intact and they are blocking well, they're pass protecting really well, allowing you to step up in the pocket, make the throws that you need to make, and make the decisions that you need to make within a timely manner, that your offense is going to succeed in all levels of football. Protecting the quarterback is really important in today's game, especially with how defenses are scheming now to stop the pass, because the pass is really taking over as the number one option in the league as far as scoring. We've been shifting away from the running game really for the last 5 or 6 years for the most part. Everything's just passing dominant league. You got your McVays, your Shanahans, your LaFleurs leading these offenses in the league, and now they're pass happy. But if the defense can't stop it, then why go away from it? So that's the thing I'm looking forward to tonight. What offense is going to be more explosive? Is it going to be the Dolphins, or is it going to be the Bengals? And the Bengals, you got Tyreek Hill, who Eli Apple is very familiar with, the cornerback for the Bengals, and Tyreek Hill, of course, made that big stop against Tyreek late in the second half in the AFC Championship game against Kansas City last year. So those two are probably going to be seeing a lot of action of each other. Tyreek Hill saying he owns Eli Apple, quote saying, "I own you, boy. I owe you, boy. I own you." So that's that. We'll have to see how interesting that'll be tonight. But the thing I'm looking for is, again, that matchup in the trenches on both sides of the ball for both teams. Can that Miami pass rush get after Joe Burrow, make his life hard, get after that offensive line, and bring him down to the ground? Or, on Cincinnati's side, can they get pressure on Tua? Can they keep him in the pocket, get pressure? Because if they don't get pressure, it's going to be a long day for that secondary. Mike Hilton, Eli Apple, like those guys. It's going to be a long day for that secondary. Jesse Bates, if they do not get after Tua Tagovailoa, because those receivers are going to run free, and if you blanket one coverage over to one guy, then they're just going to throw it to the other side of the field. If you blanket your coverage to the other guy, vice versa. And they got Mike Gesicki, who's one of the underrated tight ends in the NFL. In my opinion, he's one of the better underrated tight ends in the league. He's a guy that's been quiet on everybody's radar, but he's always put up solid seasons year in and year out. And he's a guy that I think is going to have a big game tonight. If the Dolphins really decide, if the Bengals decide to limit the playmaking of Tyreek Hill and Jaylen Waddle, which I don't see them doing, because look who you're talking about. Two of the fastest guys, probably the two fastest guys in the NFL. So how are you going to limit that? You're not going to stop them, but how are you going to slow them down? It's going to be, you got to be physical at the point of attack. If you're on the outside and the perimeter on defense, you got to be physical. You got to jam them. You got to stay with them. It's going to be hard, but they need that pass rush to help them out. Trey Hendrickson, he's going to have to get there. DJ Reader, those guys are going to have to get after Tua Tagovailoa if they want to win this game. Create pressure, stuff the run game, and just get stops. You're not gonna be able to get. You're not gonna, force a punt every series, but you're gonna have to get stops when you need to get stops. Like you're gonna have to at the most force a field goal. Guess that's gonna be key in these types of games. In big offensive games, it's usually the teams that have the ball last that end up winning. So that's the thing for me, is who's going to have the ball last in this game. Is it going to be the Bengals or the Dolphins? If the Dolphins have the ball last, they're going to win, most likely. The Bengals, vice versa. Which defense is going to make the most stops? Getting those third down stops, not giving in, just getting that stop, making it 3rd and 5 instead of 3rd and 1, trying to get it to 3rd and 6 instead of 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2. Just those things. Just get force the punts. Force the field goals. Keep them out the end zone as much as possible. That's the big key for both of these teams. So I expect the Cincinnati offensive lines, again, they got to play good. You got to protect Joe Burrow, keep him upright, keep him standing. Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd, go do your thing, go make plays. Hopefully Burrow will have enough time to get the ball to him. But if not, then it's going to be a long day for that offense in Cincinnati. And speaking of the Bengals and the Dolphins, due to Hurricane Ian, the Dolphins left Florida a little bit earlier because, they're playing up in Ohio tonight against the Bengals. So they left a little bit earlier due to the hurricane and all the effects. And again, we want to wish our prayers out there to everybody who has been affected by this hurricane. Praying the best for you. We hope you continue to find shelter and, get back on your feet. All of us at Jay's Fit Down are wishing our best out there to everybody affected by the storm. But they had to leave Florida early and head up to Ohio to practice up at the University of Cincinnati. And somebody posted on Twitter a video of the Dolphins practice. We don't know exactly who it is, but they posted a video of the Dolphins practice on the Twitter. Just them running their plays, doing their offensive period, at the on the field at the University of Cincinnati for everybody to see. Now, the NFL is currently investigating this. They're trying to figure out who did it and how all this happened, and I expect repercussions, heavy repercussions for whoever is guilty of this act. I don't understand. Why would you do that? Yeah, it's a public field, but you got an NFL team holding a private practice there. You're not, the fact, even if you do film it and why are you posting it? You post it, everybody's going to see it and talk about it, especially on Twitter. Twitter is like the mainstream of life. It's like, it's the mainstream of life. That's not in person. Everybody, is on Twitter. Twitter is where everybody connects. Almost everybody connects around the world, and they're talking, about different things. And when you share something on Twitter, almost everybody in the world will see it. That's just how it's going to be, right? And so the fact that somebody would video that practice and share it on Twitter, for the Bengals to see, and I'm assuming it had to be a Cincinnati native, a fan of the Bengals, because it just makes sense. It really baffles my mind why, that they think they wouldn't get caught, for one thing, and two, that it wouldn't blow up everywhere. It just didn't. I guess it didn't compute properly, but. That's something that to watch out for. I expect the NFL to take full action with that. They're currently investigating it right now, as I said, but just something to keep an eye on there. Again, I don't understand that. I really don't. You have to be really out your mind to record an NFL team's practice and post it online. That's. It doesn't make sense. But a lot of things don't make sense. Just like. The Philadelphia Eagles going 3-0 this year, and they've been playing really good football this whole season. 3 games in, it's still early in the year, but we didn't really expect this out of Philadelphia. I myself, I did not expect the Eagles to have this hot start to the year. And it's just on both sides of the ball as well. Defensively, it's still a work in progress under Jonathan Gannon. They're getting better. Darius Slay's having a good year. Even at his age, he's still having a great year at All Pro corner that he is for a reason. And Jordan Davis, the big guy out of Georgia, they picked in the draft. He's been making an impact, here in his rookie season. So you can tell that Philadelphia is trying to build, a new sense of identity and culture there. Nick Sirianni wants to create an identity, a persona for this team. We're gonna run and pass against you offensively. You're not gonna know which one to stop because you can't stop either one. We got a running quarterback. He's good. He can throw as well. We got good receivers. You don't know who to guard. Devontae Smith, AJ Brown on 2 sides of the ball. It just. And defensively, we're going to get after you. We're going to get after you, and we're going to play good coverage on you and pick the ball off, get takeaways, and help our offense out in scoring position, get them good scoring position on the field. That's the type of identity I believe that the Eagles are trying to create, and they have already established themselves right now so far as a top team in this league. And them and the Dolphins right now have been playing really good football, fundamental football. The first 3 weeks of the season, just getting after it and scoring at will. Just getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers and just playing good, sound football across the whole board, and that's what you want out of your teams. That's what every coach, every player, every owner, that's what that is their goal. That's what they strive for out of their franchises, to go out there each and every Sunday or Monday or Thursday, whatever the case is, and play solid, good football. And that's what the Philadelphia Eagles have done so far. Jalen Hurts, he's having a great season so far. Tops in the NFL in rushing touchdowns and passing. As a quarterback, right? He's playing really good football. And you can tell he's growing in his quarterback intelligence as well in the NFL. His progressions are getting better. He's going through his progressions better. He's not just taking off and running at first sight. He's going through all his reads. Saying, okay, this route isn't open. I need to, look over here. He's doing these things, making the proper reads and progressions that a quarterback needs to make. And he's starting to learn more and more and more. Especially in his second year in this offense under Nick Sirianni. So that is something that I think that is going to bode well for Philadelphia moving forward. Now their schedule is going to get a little bit tougher, as they move along throughout the year. But just the big question for them is, can they keep this up? Can they maintain this consistency? That's the big word. Consistency is a word that we don't talk about a lot in sports that we should. No matter the talent level you have, if you're not consistent, if you're not going out each and every week, giving it your best, giving it your all, making the plays that you need to make, then you're not going to win football games. And that's how it is really on any level, especially in the NFL when the talent disparity can be quite big for a lot of teams. So, that's the big thing. I mean, you look at teams that have made it to playoffs the past couple of years that maybe shouldn't have been in the playoffs, and they weren't the huge, had all pros on both sides of the ball everywhere. No, they didn't. But they made, they played good, solid, fundamental football the whole year, and they remained consistent and steadfast in their approach, and that's how they made the playoffs, right? You're just your teams like that. I can think of the Chicago Bears a couple of years ago. They had a great defense, but offensively, they weren't as good, but they had a great defense, and the offense did just enough. They were consistent enough. They made the plays when they need to make plays, and that's why they continue to. That's why they make the playoffs. So you guys can let me know in the comments: are you putting stock into the Philadelphia Eagles this year? Are they? I mean, are they for real? Are they for real? That's my question to you guys. You can let me know what you think in the comments about that. But moving on to our next topic here on the podcast. Quarterback trouble in the NFL right now. Mitchell Trubisky, Baker Mayfield, Jameis Winston have not looked great this season to start off. And it's only been, again, 3 games, but this is the time of year where you need your offense to start picking things up. Your quarterbacks have got to take charge and get everybody better on the offensive end, right? They're the leaders of the team and of the offense. Your job is to make sure that the offense is running fluidly and soundly, and you are getting yards each and every play, positive yardage each and every play. And right now, for me, the Carolina Panthers they got the win against the Saints, but really that was their defense. Baker Mayfield still is not looking up to the par that the Panthers want him to play at, and if he doesn't fix it, it's going to be a long season for Carolina once more, and they might turn to Sam Darnold, which isn't much better, So my thing is for Baker Mayfield, get it together, man. Get it together. And get your offense right. Got to get it together, man, because you see a 51.9 completion percentage, which is 31st in the NFL, is not going to cut it. It's not going to cut it, because your defense can only play defense for so long, so the offense eventually has got to step up there and help them out and maintain that balance for the team. If defense and special teams plays good, then you might win some games, but you're not going to win all games. If your offense and defense plays good, but you have bad special teams, then you might win some games, but you won't win all games. It works vice versa each and every way. All 3 phases must be working cohesively in order for you to win football games at this level. Especially at this level in the NFL, because the talent is so good everywhere. Almost, I said almost. So that's the key for me. Pittsburgh Steelers, Mitchell Trubisky, another case right here. Overall, the Pittsburgh offense has not looked good, really, in general. Matt Canada, the offensive coordinator, I just question some of his play calling early here in the year. Mitchell Trubisky, he's doing his best, but his passer rating, he's got a 77.7 passer rating and 60.2 completion percentage, which is good for 29th in the NFL. That's not going to cut it. Again, same case, it's just you have to have better quarterback play. You have to. You're not asking your guys to go out there and be Patrick Mahomes or Lamar Jackson or Tom Brady, but I need you to go out there and perform and get this offense right. We need to be scoring points. We need to get that up and down the field, score points. That's the goal. That is what my offense should be doing. If I'm a head coach, if I'm an owner, I want my offense to be able to move up and down the field and get points, because that's what you need to do in order to win in this league. So that's my thing right there. But and the same goes for Jameis Winston and the Saints, who are struggling so far. And he hasn't practiced the last couple of days, so don't know if it's injury related or if it's We don't know what it is, but I'm assuming it's injury related. He's been playing through some injuries, but still, that's there's no excuse. You have to still go out there, and if you're gonna play, then you need to play. And that's the thing for me. Like I mean, yeah, you're hurt, but if you're gonna play hurt, then you need to play good. Good or good enough to win. So that's my whole take on it. Y'all can let me know what you think in the comments about that. Are any of those quarterbacks, are they going to turn around? Can they get this off their offenses switched around and start scoring points and creating a balanced, cohesive unit there offensively? That's my big keys for this for this upcoming week here, coming into week 4. Wow, we're already in week 4 of the NFL season, guys. This season is moving along really fast. And if you want to keep up to date with everything you need to know about the NFL, check us out right here on Jay's Fifth Down Football Podcast on YouTube. Just search us up or come up right here on YouTube. We're also on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and wherever you get your favorite podcasts. Check us out and subscribe, rate us. We're there. This has been Jay's Fifth Down Football Podcast. You guys can catch the Bengals and the Dolphins Thursday Night Football, Amazon Prime at 8:15 Eastern Time. Right there, yeah, again on Amazon Prime. If you don't have it already, you need to sign up. It's easy. Just make an account, sign up for it, and yeah, you'll be able to watch Thursday Night Football. Al Michaels and Kirk Herbstreit on the call. And this has been Jay's Fifth Down Football Podcast. Again, thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next time.